What did you do? Who are you and why did you do it?
Questions for a suspected killer. For the very first time, a family with ties to Fort Myers is sitting down with Four in Your Corner to talk about how their mother's trust cost her life.
Investigators say a mysterious man preyed on this woman in Fort Myers back in May of 2013, and detectives believe he still may be targeting others. He's been on the run for the past few years. Only Four in Your Corner Stephanie Tinoco sitting down with the woman's family, who wants her story told to keep any other woman from becoming the next victim.
So my mom was a character, the school volunteer, the CCD teacher, the arts and crafts creator, the adventure seeker.
She could play the piano like you wouldn't believe.
Like many in middle age, Laura Howard needed a change in life. She set out from Massachusetts to seek sunshine and sand in Southwest Florida.
She was living in Maine and was sick of the winters, so she thought Florida sounded like a great spot to go.
But palm trees and warm weather couldn't melt the chill of isolation she felt away from her family.
She would get really lonely sometimes down there, like really lonely.
That loneliness led to risky decisions.
She had an open door for people. She just wanted company.
So how many men throughout the time that you knew her she brought in?
2.
Okay.
Just the 2.
Including Simon.
Simon Storm pulled on Laura's heartstrings, seducing her with the idea he would fill an empty space she longed for.
They were in a friendship that had benefits.
Roping her in with the story he illegally immigrated from Canada, sneaking through the border and hitchhiking his way to find his ex-wife and daughter.
So was the story believable?
It sort of was. It's the way he said it. It was believable. We believed him and felt sorry for him. Oh, poor Simon, you know.
Sympathy led to a relationship well kept from most of Laura's family, including her daughter Cassie.
I didn't know he existed. I didn't know this man was in her life at all.
Did you know about this relationship?
Yes.
Her son Greg knew very little about this mystery man, but was sure his mother didn't want Simon in the picture the week he was planning on visiting.
And I'm certain that she did not want him there when I was there. She wanted the house for me and her. She didn't need him around.
As the trip got closer, strange things started to happen.
I could just sense it in her, that she was like longing for me to be there. I said, "Mom, I'll be like 2 weeks and I'll be there, don't worry."
Laura was acting out of character, abruptly sending Greg messages contradicting her feelings about his visit.
I got a text message on my phone that said, "Don't come down, I won't be here." And I thought, okay.
She would never send him a message like that. It had to be him.
Greg flew in anyway, but Laura never showed to pick him up.
For her to go off and do her own thing wasn't the strangest thing in the world. The fact that she did it when I was coming down, knowing how close we were and how excited she was,
meant something was definitely wrong.
So I got down there and tried to get in the house, and I tried all the doors.
Saturday morning, the son, Greg, came to my home and wanted to know where his mother was.
I said, "Hey, my mom's not home." And she just, I mean, I tell you, when someone has seen a ghost, like, her face just kind of went pale and dropped.
The friend gave me this boyfriend's phone number, and I started calling his phone. Like every 30 minutes, I was calling their phones. And after, I think, the second day, both of the phones were off.
I called her again, and I told her, I said, "Laura, I said, if you don't call me by 6 o'clock tonight, I'm going to call the police and report you as a missing person." And I did.
The next day, Sally and a friend went to check up on Laura's home. Little did they know what they saw on the outside were just clues of what had happened behind closed doors.
When we got to the house, all the curtains were drawn, and you could not see inside the house. And we noticed that there was moisture on the outside, the windows. They were dripping.
By Friday, I called the police, and I was done with it. I couldn't wait any longer. And I said, "There's something wrong. I know it in my gut. Something is wrong. I need you to go force entry into that home or meet me. I'm going to go get on the next flight. Meet me there. Don't arrest me. I'm going to force my way into that house."
I pulled up and I looked up, and my sister just was sobbing. And that's when I knew what happened.
When detectives walked into that bathroom, Laura was in the bathtub. in a state of severe decomposition.
They had to identify her using her dental records.
She had been in this water for 4 or 5 days.
The air conditioning was turned down to the lowest point to prevent an odor from getting out and alarming anybody.
We can't tell if she was strangled. We can't tell if she was suffocated. We can't tell what happened to her.
What investigators can tell is the man Laura thought she knew wasn't really named Simon Storm.
His real name has been flagged on multiple places.
His name is Robert Keene, but he uses a lot of aliases: Alex DeFrey, Simon Croft, Alex Frost, and Simon Storm.
Oddly enough, that same day when Fort Myers police found Laura's body, they also found Laura's car on the East Coast.
Laura's car was found near a home where a suspicious incident was reported in Margate, Florida. The same city police records show Keene lived with a woman around Laura's same age. She was suspicious about Storm and asked for ID to find out who he really was.
Simon said, "Sure, let me go upstairs and get my ID." He goes upstairs, jumps out the window, takes off.
That's when the woman called police, and detectives found Keene left behind his ID and a passport, birth certificate, and old marriage license, all belonging to Laura.
You don't just leave a woman dead and then jump out of a second-story window to avoid being caught if you've done nothing wrong.
He was never seen again. Detectives have clear pictures of Keene, the sole person of interest for Laura's death, but haven't found him yet.
When we're dealing with someone who's living off the grid, it's really difficult, and especially when he's using an alias that other people aren't questioning.
Police say this is the only man they're looking for that may be responsible for Laura's death and possibly others.
He left her in a bathtub to rot. Either he's really good at hiding, or we're not looking hard enough.
Stephanie Tinoco, Fox 4, in your corner.
As you heard from Stephanie in the report, the man is still on the run. He's believed to be in Florida. You can read more about Laura's story on our website, fox4now.com. And if you have any information on where he might be, you can call Crime Stoppers right now at 1-800-780-TIPS.